Hello. Hello, everybody. It's Mike. I am here from Alive Again, and we are going today without Renelle. I haven't heard from her, so I don't know where she is, but I still want to talk about the subject. So she can, if she shows up, then we will add her in and we'll get her insight as well. But today's probably going to be a little bit shorter stream because no one wants to just look at one person for too long. At least I know I'm not great to look at. But we're glad you're here. So anyway, let's get into it. The title of the show is The Real Superbowl is Our Soul's Struggle Between Light. I didn't put between, but light versus emptiness. A lot of times we think light versus darkness, but I believe, and from the things I've read, and when you read in scripture and whatnot, it talks about like the endless pit, right? The emptiness of it. And so, and that's where I believe the darkness tries to take us, is into a place of emptiness. That's what they feel. So what I wanted to talk about today was really, a lot of times we believe we're getting tempted to go do these certain things. Don't do these certain things, which is, it's true. We don't want to go out and break the laws of God, because he is our light and he is the one that's going to give us the strength and fill our souls with light. Fill it with it. Those words are important, because when we look at emptiness, our struggle, yeah, I hope so too, Lula. I hope Renelle is okay as well. Sometimes she'll go off the map for a little bit. So I'm not crazy worried, but these days are important to her. So I really hope that she is okay. Anyway, I will keep calling her and make sure, and if something did happen, I will let you guys know right away. Because we all love her now and we care about her. And she's a big reason why a lot of us come. She's why I'm here. So anyway, that emptiness is a huge struggle in the world today. I think it is one of the greatest tools that is used by the adversary, the one that really wants us to feel and be like him. Misery loves company. We've heard that many times in our lives. It's probably too much, that it's lost some meaning. But if you think about it, it's absolutely true. When you are empty, you reach out and you try and fill that emptiness with whatever you can. It's a problem with drugs. It's a problem with addiction to sex or pornography or anything else that will pull your agency away from you, that you're trying to fill your soul with. And really the only thing that our soul can be filled with that will give us true fulfillment is the light, Christ's light. And in the description of the show, I put that that our tools that we use is the pure or true love, the love of Christ, or Christlike love. That's one tool, and the other tool is it was good. I can't think of it right now, but I will remember. I don't have Renelle here to remind me of things, but at least let's talk about that love. Not the neediness type of love of I need you to fulfill my needs. When you start thinking that way, we've all had friendships or relationships that probably all of us have had some of that. And even ourselves, we sometimes do want recognition. and we want to be seen. It's part of that need to be want to be loved and fill that emptiness. But that, without a true love of like Christ-like love towards the person, will become a toxic type situation where it's just pull. You're just trying to get things out of the other person, whether it's a friendship, and you start thinking in terms of a transaction. And you start thinking in terms of what is this relationship doing for me? How is this helping me? Now we need to make sure that we fulfill our circles with and have discernment, right? And we try and avoid those that are trying to make us miserable like themselves, not even knowing they're doing it. But we have to be careful, because we do need to have really love for people and humankind. We are in this together, right? That's why I'm doing this show. Why I'm here tonight is I don't want to do it, alone. And I know people out there don't want to either. And so I am just trying to help as best I can. So, in the ways I know how. Anyway, so that emptiness that fills us. Now, let's talk about the why emptiness is so prevalent. Before we came to this world, there was a huge council, the war in heaven, some people call, and the dragon or Satan fell. He was an angel and he fell, right? And he is not able to have a body, nor is any of those that chose to go with him. And if you think about it in terms of the world today, or our perception, if 2/3 of the people have something and the other 1/3 doesn't, there would be a lot of anger, and from the one side that doesn't have they can't. They just want to have a body, and they wanted that, but they didn't think God was fair. That was their problem. Most of them, I believe. There were other issues, I'm sure. It's way more complicated and something that we don't remember. So we have to, it's just speculation. But the idea of them not having something and us having it puts them in a position where they are angry and they think God is unfair. If you look at the experiences that are in the Bible between demons and Christ, there's two times it talks about what have we to do with thee? They don't want him there. They know exactly who he is. They call him by name and they say he is the Son of God. But they think that what they're doing in possession, or what they're doing to the human, the victim, is justified. And we know it's not. Christ wants to get rid of that. So, I mean, I'm just trying to paint a picture of why it's being used so prevalently. We're left wanting. So, when Christ was in the garden and he was getting tempted, if you remember the three things he was tempted about, the first was, food, right? The want of food. He was fasting. He was hungry. And it was, you should eat this. You have a right to eat this. You need to eat this. So do this. And that was the first, the physical needs that we have pull us and can sometimes lead us by the nose and take us down paths that we don't want to go. Or maybe some do want to go, but I don't want to go. I want the light of Christ. I want his peace. I don't want emptiness. The second one was, the third one was power over and control. The second one, do you guys remember? Respect. What that's a recognition, I think, is what it was about. Anyway, recognition and recognizing. I can't believe, man, I'm having a hard time tonight remembering things. This is like the basic stuff, I think. But having a good reputation and caring about what others think. That is also something that will pull us and lead us by the nose. And that is part of emptiness. When we think that other people can fill the needs that we have completely, or even when it comes to our souls, even at all, they can't without the help and of Christ, without that light, without the power that comes from that. And interaction with other people is good. And I'm not saying that, that we should leave people alone and stay away from that. No, exactly the opposite. But it needs to be a pure, kind-hearted love that is true and not seeking after what others can give you. And the last one is the one that really hits home for me is control. And that is power. He offered him the kingdom and taking and having it all, because Christ, he has the ultimate right to be the leader, and he will ultimately be the leader. And I believe he's the leader now. It's just he just wants us to be able to choose if we follow him. But he was given that opportunity to own it, to control it. And that is at the heart of what Satan, I'll just get straight, I won't stay there long, but he wanted to control. He wanted to have that, his birthright. He wanted to, he deserved it. And that is the attitude that permeates both those on the other side that did not find Christ and are still searching, and those that have passed on that are there, and then the ones that are there because they never got a body and they're just there. I'm talking about those ones specifically, but they want us to seek after those things, whether it's through its neediness, to feed my needs, selfishness. And that is the battle that I believe, the Super Bowl, if you will, that is the battle that we're in, is between that emptiness and filling it with light. And so when we look at our friends, our family, and others, they can bring us fulfillment in the light of real, actual love and careness and unselfishness. There's truth out there that even for people that don't know Christ. So it's not just that, but it's still him that provides the way for us to get there. But if we have real Christ-like love, that is going to give us fulfillment. That is one of our tools. That is one of our plays, if you will, is to find ways to serve and love. The great two commandments: love God and love your neighbor as thyself. So those are the tools that we will use in this battle. And it is a battle. That's what we need to be using. And then the other is light. Light, I remembered. Yay. But does anyone have anything to add, or any questions or anything that they had? Please put comments and and share the video and everything. Grow so that we can invite more people in and see, if we can build a community of friendship. So anyway, if you do have anything, please put it down. I will respond. Light. A lot of times, light and darkness are opposites, right? But we do need to realize that emptiness is that key, and light actually fills. That's why Christ is called the light of the world. He's also called the bread of life, the never-ending waters that spring up from him. He will fill us, and that is our soul, which is more important than anything, that any food, anything that we have. That's what it's teaching in the scriptures in the garden. The Sermon on the Mount is specifically about these things. And so if we can find a way to use those tools, and light, where does that come from? And how do we use it? Like, what's the practicality here, Mike? I'm really asking myself, and here I'll tell you. So practically, what we do is we try our best to connect with God, and no matter what religion you are in, what you believe, that God, I believe that He cares for all of His children and will give truth and light where asked for. But that light can come from Him. But then what do we do with it? What do we do with the light that is given to us? And that is, I think, that is what he means by the flame that putting under the bushel, right? When he talks about that, you wouldn't put it under a bushel or hide that light. He is giving it to us. So let it shine. Let it be, not in a proud way, but in a peaceful contentment. And we are obsessed with finding the perfect and utopia and making it, as a world and whatnot. That's the ideal, right? You want everybody to be happy and have the society work. But in reality, that yearning for something more, that constant yearning for something more that's better than what we have now, is part of that emptiness. It's a tool that he uses he starts wars with it. He corrupts religions with it. And so what we do is what we have and where we are at in life. There's good, there's bad, there's hard, there's great. If we can find that peace and contentment, and I believe it can only come through that light. That is what people need to see, is the fact that we can be in this place and still find peace. If people can see that we struggle, we all do, in different ways, but they can see that we have peace and we have fulfillment and we are content. I joke with my wife, and I say, you know what? I think the term good enough is something that people deride, but they shouldn't. Because good enough is really saying that things are good enough as they are, because I have Christ, I have light, I have life, I have love. And so that is actually the thing to search for, is more of a contentment, more of a peaceful, kind-hearted communion with God. That's what true religion looks like. Most of the time it's private, right? You commune with him and you try and connect and really feel these things of light and love. And then we become that. After many years in my marriage, well, I'll be 20 years this year. I'll be married, which is crazy. So I find it easier and easier to have patience and love with my wife and my kids, as I continue to just find fulfillment in what I have with that communion with God. And you start to become something, and it starts to change you, and it starts to fill that emptiness that is caused by a lot of times things that we can't control. We talked about it 2 shows ago, and I suggest you guys go back and watch our previous 2 shows, because I think they both were great. I think that that's the work that we want to do. And so we talked about healing through dark things and hard things in our lives through Christ, right? It's a healing through Christ. And what happens is, when we get hurt, or when we get betrayed, or when we are, we don't have our basic needs like food and all of that, and we start to become bitter. And so we all experience those things at different levels and different things. Some people get abused. That's kind of where I was, and those holes are real. It's an emptiness. And I searched in many places that I should not have in my younger years. And in doing so, I was just trying to fill my soul's need for contentment and happiness and a joy. And I looked in the wrong places. But as I have become a disciple of Jesus Christ, and I try to connect with my God, he's been changing me. I got a ways to go. I do. But I can see a difference over time. And I just want to let you know that because of how I feel, I have genuine care for, and this is not born of myself, because selfishness is basically what you get when you think of self. But really, I actually truly care about you guys and people that are out there. And it's just a love. And I am so grateful that has been given to me after asking and whatnot. And now I have a concern for the people that are out there around me. So that's why I'm here, and I'm just a guy. So I hope that we can build something that is that is filled with support and kindness and love, because that's what we need, and that's what we're going to need in the days to come. In the days to come, things will likely get much, much harder on when you're looking at it from a perspective of the world and what's going to happen and their pain and stuff like that. It's going to be real, and it won't be easy, but we can find contentment. And I think these principles, these things that I've been talking about today, and the things that you find throughout the scriptures, but really love and light, that's we're going to need to be able, somebody's going to need to have it out there, because when people find themselves in a position where they have much less, or they're struggling, or there's horrors going on around them, they're going to need something things that are stable. Some people will turn to religion, and that's probably where I'll turn personally. But I think all of us have a duty, might not be the right word, but it's the only one I can think of right now, to be a stabilizing force and let our contentment and our light and our true care and love show and be there as a place of refuge. Because there are places that in religion we believe are refuge, like actual buildings and land that might be sacred, that we go to for refuge or whatnot. But in reality, true refuge only lies in the contentment of the heart. So people will need a place, communities to be a part of. And so with that much sincerity, that's what we're going for, because things are going to get hard. And we'll probably do a show. We did a show somewhat about that. I don't like to, sit there and be gloom and doom, because it's not, I don't feel that way inside. But it's important that we recognize that is the reality of the world around us, because when we don't want to just stay to ourselves. So anyway, that is what I wanted to talk about tonight: light versus emptiness, and our tools being love and light. Does that all make sense? Anybody have any qualms with the things I said, or anything to add? Because I could be missing something completely. But I think that's our call. So anything? Cool. Well, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We've had a few people. We're growing slowly, actually, but we're growing, and that's cool. So if you could, hi Lula. If we could, if you could go, and if there's friends or people that really are looking for some type of support or help amongst others, so tell them about our show, like it and subscribe and all that jazz. If it's not someone's cup of tea, that's fine. They can move on and whatnot. I don't, I'm here just to be here. So, and to do my best. So if there's people that need to feel that love and joy, I think Renell is somebody that does embody that actual sincere love towards people. If any of you have ever met her in person, or even on the show, or other, when she gives speeches at places, there's a genuineness that's there that really connects with people. And that's, I think, why people love her, is that genuine feeling And it comes from really that experience when she went to the other side, and her experiences since. She sees things from a perspective of, we really are brothers and sisters, and we really are in a place that is foreign to our existence of what we've been before and what we will be going forward after this life. I mean, so it's born of real experiences, and she truly can see through you sometimes, and see in you, and that's one of the reasons why she was able to connect to me and caused a miracle. Like, it was a miracle. I was lost. I was done for. I could not receive light. I couldn't, because of the pain and the things that happened to me had changed the way my brain worked. I was, what's the word? Man, here I go again. But I couldn't receive that light and feel love. I was blocked. And I had even had experiences prior that really did. So I knew what it felt like, and it's like I could see it through glass almost. The light was there. The comfort of God was there, but I could not reach out and grab it. And so it put me into a dark hole of emptiness. And it almost cost me everything. But God knew what I needed, and had me and Renelle cross paths. So she, with that genuine attitude and using that love and light, it caused an experience to happen. And not just her, it was us together trying to sincerely find a way to heal. And it didn't heal everything, but a miracle did happen. And I started to receive light again. And it filled me up. It filled my soul. And I never want to go back. I never want to be without that. And so if there's a way to bring that to even one person, anybody out there, I'm willing to do it, because the experience for me was so gratifying and so impactful and important. And it saved a marriage, it saved a family, it saved a man. And it was God that did it. But he uses us much of the time to do his work through small and simple means. Through small and simple means of genuine love and the showing forth of our inner light that we have received from a higher power. That is how he works in this world. And so I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of his work. And so I'm here. So that was my story for the day. And I'm grateful that you guys came and listened. And I'll check on Renelle, and if there's a problem, I'll put something up. But so we can go with the attitude of it's okay, because sometimes she just has to cut off. So anyway, we will meet again next week, and she'll be there, and we're going to try to get more guests like the past two shows. And really go back. If you weren't on the show earlier when I said the past two episodes, go back and watch those. That's the kind of format that we feel is good. So we're going to try to bring guests and do more. And if there's anything out there, whether you're watching live now or you see this later, if there's anything that you want us to discuss or you feel inspired to ask, please do, because we want this to be a community and not just a dude and Ronell talking. We don't want to be just that. So come and watch those 2 episodes, see what you like, and then ask questions. Please just put them up on whether it's this episode where you put them on the comments or you go to the channel and just do a standard thing. It's at Alive Again show, because Alive Again was taken. So I'm just going to type that real quick, which if you know how to find these things in YouTube, you would know all this already, but some people don't. So that's it. Our channel. There's lots of videos up there. You can go back and see our efforts at the beginning and laugh a little bit with our tech issues and our trying to make it work and inexperienced. At least on my end, I was inexperienced as far as, talking in this kind of format. So I feel that we've gotten a little better. Well, except for Renan not being here. I think that defeats the purpose of getting better. So she's going to hear a word, but with love. So anyway, much love, everybody. Please do all the things that I asked and have a wonderful week. And check in next week, 8 o'clock. And I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.